Hey folks, I'm so glad you've joined me today. In this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to prepare and how to plant potatoes in your garden for a harvest. So we're going to be working with prepping these and then planting them. I just invite you to join me as we go through the process. Now, most of the time you are going to want to source your seed potatoes from a seed company. So I have some companies I really love. This is one here in Canada called West Coast Seed that I buy a lot of my stuff from. So here in this catalog, you can see right here, these are Clancy pelleted potato seeds, which are a literal seed. But generally that is not what gardeners buy and what gardeners go with. Usually, let me flip the page here. Here's a whole page of potato sets, which are also called seed potatoes. And you can see there's all the different types you can order in, and they will send you a package of little potatoes that you can then plant in your garden and get a full harvest from. So today we're talking about literal seed potatoes, not potato seeds. Did I say that right? These are seed potatoes, not the literal potato seeds where you would take and plant in your garden like you would a beet or a carrot seed. All right, so that's what we're talking about today. It's really important to buy from a seed company because here's the thing. The potatoes in your grocery store, first of all, most of them are not organic. There was a GMO potato that recently came out, and lots of times your grocery store potatoes, in fact, pretty much all the time, they are sprayed with a chemical that inhibits them from sprouting. That's not to say you can't plant them, but it is highly discouraged in gardening circles just because there can be disease, and then you have who knows what on your potatoes. So order in from seed companies, and usually you want to place your order probably about 4 months in advance to make sure the company has stock. That being said, you can probably find seed potatoes at your local garden center or a greenhouse center. It's a great way to go. I highly recommend you start there. Once you have them, let's talk about how to prepare them for planting. With your potatoes, you want to make sure, these look really grotesque because they're sprouting, but you want to have at least 2 eyes per section, and then you actually don't want to take them down too much because the potato actually does feed on itself as it grows. So we're going to cut this one here. I wouldn't go any smaller than this, but you can see there's numerous sprouts on this one, and then there's several eyes here. So these will sprout and grow some really tasty potatoes. But something really tiny like this, I'm probably not going to divide it just because there's so little there for the sprout to feed on, and then there's only 3 eyes, maybe 4 on this one. So it's just gonna go straight into our basket. Dried up on me. Usually want to store your seed potatoes in a cool but dry place. It's usually best. Cutting these a bit ahead of time, so we probably will be planting these in about 2 days time, but especially this isn't as important if you're planting whole potatoes like this, but these guys where you split them, letting them sort of dry out on the cut parts, especially if you're having a really wet year, it can help protect the potato and protect them from disease and from rotting if you let this sort of harden off. So you can see here it's very wet, very very moist. And so we want to let that harden up. So we're going to leave these in the basket for a day or two, and then we'll get to planting. I've never seen this before. There's a little teeny tiny potato growing off of this little guy. Somehow it started producing in the bag. Look at that. All right, we've got our beds weeded, the soil's been loosened up, and now it is time to plant some of our potatoes. So with potatoes, as a general rule of thumb, I like to space my plants about 16 inches apart in every direction. And usually I bury my potatoes about 8 inches deep. And in this bed, because it's very wide, we're actually gonna get 2 rows in it. So let's jump in and start planting.